this doesn't usually happen, does it? I hope we can make this a regular little feature. It's just some kind of midweek interviews, just bring on some fun people. We got a great start. It kind of dovetails perfectly into some stuff that we do on the show. We're talking today with Richard from Review Tech USA, 1 million subs on YouTube, very, very YouTube famous, as they say. We're here to talk mostly about DSP, but I'd be remiss if we didn't talk some tech and gaming stuff because, after all, that's his wheelhouse. But most importantly, we bonded. He reached out over Twitter. I think YouTube first, and I reached out over Twitter, I think. Richard from Review Tech USA. We bonded over the DSP stuff. How are you, sir?
I'm doing lovely. How everyone seems to bond over the DSP stuff. It creates a community.
We can say whatever we want about the disgusting things he's done and everything else, but you can't deny he's genuinely an interesting character. He's an interesting personality.
What's most amazing about him is that he could have an empire because of how entertaining he is, but the day that he would become self-aware, all of the comedy would go away.
Yeah.
So he's a very strange specimen, I guess is the right way to word it, because if he started to realize why people are so fascinated with him, he would no longer be fascinated.
Right. Don't you think that if he would have accepted the like we had Keemstar on our show the day after he offered the 50 grand to do a podcast, and we said it's a goddamn tragedy for DSP because if he would accept this offer, then technically it's kind of over, isn't it?
Yeah, and what's weird about him is he has, quote unquote, he's too prideful to do that and accept $50,000 for what probably would have been a successful podcast, because he would still be DSP on there and he would still do stupid things and say stupid things because he doesn't have the self-awareness.
Right.
But asking people to give him direct tips so he could buy groceries the next day, he's all about that.
Right.
But he has too much pride to get a $50,000 bonus to do a podcast. Startup bonus.
I don't even remember who the third wheel in that podcast was. I just know that if it was DSP and Wings of Redemption playing like Street Fighter with each other, you'd never be able to stop watching that show.
Well, Boogie would have been
Boogie. That's right. Yeah.
And Boogie is okay. He's I'm a fucking lolcow too. I'll be the first to admit it. But he's a lolcow with substance, so he kind of would have brought it together.
Maybe, yeah.
But yeah, it would have helped. But yeah, DSP wouldn't do it because the thing that DSP wants most is to be taken seriously. But the problem is he tries so hard to be taken seriously that it has the exact opposite effect.
That's exactly it. I think when you just said, you go, oh, I'm a lolcow. I mean, technically all of us who talk into these and criticize or make fun of anything, we're all typically definition lolcows because we open ourselves up to it. I've been into Ethan Ralph lore, Gunt lore as they call it, for probably a year or two. But I introduced April and some of the other co-hosts to it, and they were like, "You gotta tell me more about this guy." And then I exhausted like the extent of my knowledge on Ethan Ralph. So when that happens to me, whether it's Stuttering John, whether it's Ethan Ralph or anyone else, I revert back to the master, and for me, that person is our guest right now, Cog from Backwards Internet. How are you, sir?
How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. It's 6 o'clock there? Oh, we're not keeping you up too late then.
No, it's not bad at all.
Cog's actually the reason why you guys have a Steel Toe Discord now. I had to message him there. I had to actually re-log in for the first time in years to my Discord. I didn't even know Steel Toe had a Discord. Apparently, one of my old co-hosts set one up under my account, and so I just threw it out to the audience and gave one of the listeners mod status and said, here, make it whatever you want. So I had to get in touch with you through there, but I'm glad to have you on because, I mean, when it comes to Ethan Ralph and that stuff, I mean, you are one of, if not the guy on all things Ethan Ralph as far as I'm concerned.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I've been talking about him for about 3 years, but it's all after he essentially ran away from my show, and then he does what he does. What this bridge burning you've seen since January with a load of big names, that's essentially what he did. But he's done this to a lot of other smaller people as well. So yeah,
it's really interesting because, like I said in the intro, I'll I'll go so surface level with these different people. And then there's no shortage of people on the internet who see you do that. And they're like, no, dude, you're not going to go surface level. Let me give you and they just throw everything at you like all at once. I'm sure that's happened to you. Where I end up in this weird limbo where you would think I would get left alone for having the kind of middle of the road opinion, but everybody else wants you to be on their side so bad that they all just start beating you with bats. And you're like, God, can you give me like a week or so to fucking get to watch clips of the guy so I can know if I hate him or not? There he is. There's Kyle. Kyle from Unique Entertainment. How are you, sir? Uh-oh. Do we not have him? I don't think he can hear me. Uh-oh.
I can hear you.
Oh, you are. You're there. All right. How you doing, man?
What's that? What's that?
Well, I tell you what, we finally got this interview done. How's everybody feeling? Like COVID ran through your house again. How are you guys all doing over there?
A lot better now.
Good. All right, man. Well, it's been a long time coming. I've actually been watching your stuff for a while. I discovered you when the O&A stuff was all falling apart and back in the O&A subreddit days, and you were kind of covering all that stuff. So how long into your career of streaming that kind of stuff did I jump in? Was that kind of how you got started?
Yeah, that's how I started. My first video ever was Opie got fired.
Oh, okay. So you were in the taking pictures, videos of Roland taking a shit days. And it's all just like gone downhill from there. I mean, Anthony has had his issues, Opie's had his. I mean, in a weird way, don't you think like Jim Norton and Sam Roberts, just by kind of staying out of the way and not making any headlines at all, kind of won this thing?
Yeah, but you could probably fire them and just use Travis and Troy Kwan and get the same amount of ratings.
Yeah, I mean, you probably could. I mean, they don't keep ratings at Sirius. It's based. I think Sirius just like goes on cruise control for 4 years until it's time to talk about Howard's contract.
Hello, guys. What's up?
Oh, we are fantastic. First of all, thank you very much. We had to come on 5 minutes early, so we made sure we got all the plugs of all the different shows you do in.
Yes, you're very busy. Oh my God, there's so many plugs. There's too many.
Yeah.
Are we live right now? Can I watch along? It feels weird talking to a black square.
Go ahead and watch along because I suck at tech, and if I open OBS before I open Zoom, then I can't see I can see you. You can't see us.
It looks good.
It's unfair.
Okay, cool.
But yeah,
Oh yeah, it does look. It looks great.
Yeah. So we were talking about a bunch of stuff we were going to end up covering today. We didn't get to the thing I wanted to start off with, which is being one of the few women, maybe the only, at Compound Media. How is it that all of these middle-aged men are the ones starting drama?
Men are always so emotional, right? Isn't that what we say all the time? Yeah, I think I'm actually the second woman to join Compound Media. Joanne Nosachinsky.
That's right.
Okay. Who is one of the co-hosts of Morning. And then I forget what the show was then called. They like tried to rebrand and then they went back to being called Morning. She is completely dramaless. Like, I don't know how she does it. Like, she stays so squeaky clean. I think it's because she's not engaging very much like on social media.
Okay.
Well, we were talking about you and the issues, quote unquote, you've been in, and we were going over them here. And none of them were actually you starting anything. Like, you just kind of find yourself oddly in these places where somebody got pissed off out of nowhere. In the Tony Michaels stuff, and I was so excited about everything we were doing with that last night that, I didn't get to read it either, so that will be exciting. But enough of all that. Let's talk to our guest, Eric Nagel, a.k.a. E-Rock from Would You Kindly, formerly the Opie and Anthony Show. Compound Media, holy shit, a bunch of other stuff, wherever you find podcasts. E-Rock, how are you, sir?
Hello, how are you?
I am good. You and I first got in touch with each other after I did Who Are These Podcasts, and you were really, really nice. You sent a very nice email about how much you enjoyed the show, and I, obviously as a guy who's followed you for a long time, that was kind of a surreal email to get, so I just want to start off by saying thank you. That was really nice of you, and it kind of opened the door to do this today.
That's a complete lie. For everything I read online, I'm supposed to hate you.
Are you really?
No, I don't know.
God.
I'm just making it up.
I know.
Yes, I did. I
only-
did send you that email. You did have a good appearance on Who Are These Podcasts.
Thank you. Well, I do know that. That's one person. From
Do I not get to see you? Is it just one sided?
I said in the email that I'm so terrible with tech that if I open OBS and I have Zoom open at the same time, for some reason, the people I'm on with can't see me. Like, and I know
that's a problem. You kind of need that in today's world of broadcasting.
I know you're a better tech guy than I am, but I gotta figure it out. But anyway, you wouldn't be the first person from that world. If you would have turned down this interview and said I'm supposed to hate you, you wouldn't be the first. I actually contacted someone you used to work with, Opie, and I asked if he would come on at some point. And initially,
he doesn't do much stuff.
He doesn't. But
he doesn't really do any interviews.
But he initially said yes, and I was very excited. And then I got a direct message on Twitter about 45 minutes later, and he had apparently dug through a shitload of our shows, and he went back like 4 months. And this was astounding to me. And he went, "Oh, I saw this one clip where you said so. He said you trashed me," and he was ready to go right now, and he wanted the link because he'll just pop on. Or if he was still going to come on at about 11:30. I wasn't sure, but we'll see. There he is. There's Shuli. How are you, sir?
Hey, pal. I'm good. How are you?
Oh, I'm pretty good. Very excited to talk to you. I cannot, obviously, I'm very much locked in and following all the Stuttering John stuff, and you really can't go anywhere in the Stuttering John world without seeing the Uncle Rico show, so you guys have to be really excited about that.
Yeah, buddy. Things are going very well. I ain't gonna lie.
What was the motivation for that? How did you guys, I mean, were you guys just like fucking on John and then you said we should probably put microphones in front of ourselves and record it? Or like, how did you get the idea for the show?
I mean, long story short, he's had some problem with me forever. And back when I was working on the show, he would basically just talk shit about me for no reason, create these stories, these lies that we all are so familiar with now.
Yeah.
That basically, trying to get me fired, trying to get me in trouble, like all this weird shit. And I'd finally just kind of had enough. And I was like, I even when I left the show and I started doing my own thing, I didn't really fight back. I just took the high road with him. And then finally I was just like, fuck this shit, man. You know, after doing WATP a few times and seeing how fun it is, goof on him, I'm like, well, I have a personal attachment to this fucking guy.
Why Do I Podcast says, tell him to check his spam filter. Wait a minute. Here he comes. There he is. Reverend Bob Levy. How are you, sir?
Hey, sorry about that. Always a little late.
Don't worry. We've been having a lot of fun with it. I suck at technology. So I don't know how there we go. All right. Now there's the two of us on screen together. Oh boy, am I going to get fucking yelled at by our audience for having the window like this. But what are you
That's okay.
What are you going to do? Edit on the fly? Bob, thank you very much for coming on. I really do appreciate it. You are, I tell you what, I remember being a big fan of yours in the Stern days. You've still been working. And now it seems like with Uncle Rico and Miserable Men and Misery Loves Company, like it's Bob Levy time. Like you're everywhere. Compound Media, the whole deal.
Yeah, I mean, it's good because I was in a car accident that fucked me up for like 4 years, and now I got the neck surgery. I'm back. I'm ready for this shit again.
Yeah, and I'm
ready for the madness.
Yeah, I was watching Levy Land a while back. You were or last week actually. You said you were off this. You had gone like 12 to 16 hours without a cigarette. How's that going?
Not too fucking good.
Oh fuck!
Huh?
I thought that was like a vape or something. Oh no.
No, it lasted 2 days, man. It's like the craving ain't bad. It makes you crazy where you want to kill people, and it's not a good thing. So I have to get past that. That's the next point I have to pass. The anger of it. It's very tough. It's the hardest thing to quit, I think.
So let me get this straight. You were at a day where you were about ready to kill someone, and you have Chad Zumach on your show. You're a brave man.
Yeah, it was funny. It was like, I get Chad. I know. how he hates everybody, but whatever. It seems like everybody hates each other now. But
Yeah.
I don't think they do. I don't know. It's hard to figure this out exactly what the hell's going on. I know I don't hate people. I really don't hate anybody.
Well, Bob, I came from radio and you came from radio. Obviously, you were on the biggest show of all time. And I think we kind of understand that when you're entertaining people, you bust people's balls, you watch people behave badly or you watch them behave in a silly way, and you want to make fun of them. You want to pick on them to entertain your audience. I'm kind of like you where I say, look, I'm just making fun of people. I didn't expect it to be so personal,